Two other features. What is? What is this? Oh, hello. Hello. You joined already? Okay. Okay, I can see 21 participants here. If you are able to hear me, kindly say a yes in chat, please. Kindly write yes in chat if you can hear me. Okay, Ravi Kumar ji, thank you. We'll wait for few participants to join. Okay, I see 18 participants already, so we'll wait. We'll wait for few more. I guess there's still time left. I guess a minute or so is left. Raghuనందన్ Ravi, yes, okay. It's already 3 o'clock, and I see 22 participants. I'll just wait for a minute or two. In the meanwhile, while you wait, if you have any other queries in regards to CBLMS, you can ask. I mean, you have to type in chat. I'm really sorry, we couldn't actually manage a meeting where you can ask me face to face. So, if you have any other queries, not only related to manage CV profile, if you have any other queries related to CBLMS altogether, you can please write in chat and send it to me. We'll be attending those queries after the session. Okay. Primarily, we will focus on the session wherein we have joined to discuss manage CB profile functionality, the new functionality that we have launched. Now, this was launched as facilitation measures for you guys only who were incorrectly uploaded the CV profile, and the profiles were also validated somehow. Okay, I see 31 participants. Before we start, I hope you all are aware of public notice which we have issued, the public notice number 28 of 2023, which was issued on 25th of May. I actually can't hear you, so I mean, this has to be responsive. You have to just write a yes in chat, and I'll get to know the responses. Ravi Kumarji says yes, we have gone through PN 28. Okay, perfect. Avinash Honekar says yes, thank you. Okay, this makes my life easier. I mean, I'll be able to explain you better how this works. It's already okay. Give me 10 more seconds and we'll start the session. In the meanwhile, you can share the link, to all your fellow CBs if they want to join or attend the sessions. Okay, Raghunandanan, I see your query. I'll address all the queries after I complete the session, after I take the session. Okay. Uh, we'll have a Q&A session also, and in that I'll try and address all your queries. I see the incorrect details in CBLMS cancelled by parent policy and unable to add OPS info. Okay. Okay, it's been 6 minutes since we have been live. I see 38 participants. I think we should start with the session. Okay, and as more participants will join along, we'll carry on from there onwards. Okay, unable to add additional employee detail in profile. Okay, Sonali. Oh, Sonali, I'll take this question also. How to add OPS once you submit? Okay, Avinash, the question that you have asked, how to add OPS once you submit. Uh, I'm not really sure at what stage your application is currently. So when you say you have submitted the application and how to add OPS, if if the status of your application is still submitted, you can anytime go to the officer and ask them to give your deficiency and take the application back and add your OPS. However, if your profile is already validated, okay, Avinash, it's completed. Completed means I presume it's validated, right? So exactly in this scenario, the today's session is for such scenarios only. All right. We'll start with public notice number 28. I'll just briefly read out what public notice number 28 says. Okay. The public notice in itself is very much clear about the functionality. We'll discuss in detail, and I'll try and explain to you each and everything how it works. Okay. The public notice in starting from para 2, it says that this functionality was envisaged and implemented in the portal pursuant to several representations received in the CBLMS help desk from CBs and policy sections, wherein it was mentioned that CBs have inadvertently filled incorrect details in other policy sections while registering their CV profiles, and the same was incorrectly validated by respective policy section, which in turn was affecting the uploading of OPS profile details on CVLMS. Okay, this, I mean, not going by the language strictly, I would say before going into the wordings, we need to very clearly understand the difference between OPS, which is other policy section details. We need to understand what is Form C intimation. Okay, and we need to also understand one quick thing, which is other policy section in the original CB profile. Okay, so I'll start with the first thing, which is originals. OPS or other policy section details in original CB profile. The first time when you guys actually registered your CB profile, in the process of registering that CB profile in section 7, in under section 7, there was a column which says other policy section details. So you have many columns which says CB primary details, and then contact person, then authorized person details, then employee details, then correspondence address, everything. In section 7, the seventh column was other policy section details. Okay, that was first time when you were filling up the CB profile details. Now, what needs to be filled in that particular column was just the basic information of the offices wherein you as in CB is working under regulation 7.3 of CBLR 2018. Okay, so I will take an example. Say for instance, if your mother license or your parent license is issued in Mumbai, okay, but you are also working in Mundra, Chennai, Kolkata, XYZ, many other ports. Okay, so in CV profile, that the in the rest of the sections you were actually meant to fill in the details of your parent policy. So you need to fill in the details of licenses, everything pertaining to your Mumbai office. Okay. Only and only in section 7, which was other policy section details, okay, you were required to fill in the details of other offices apart from Mumbai. Apart from Mumbai, since Mumbai is your parent license, you are filling in all the details pertaining to your parent license. Okay. Only in section 7, which was other policy section details, you were required to fill in the details of, say, Mundra Customs, Kolkata Customs, Chennai Customs, Nagpur Customs, wherever you are working except for Mumbai. Okay. Now, what all fields you were required to fill in section 7 in that particular section? The first one was your office address, your basic office details in that particular city. So, if you're filling in the details of Mundra section, obviously you need to mention first, the first and foremost thing, you need to mention the policy section, which policy section office you are talking about. So, say if I am trying to fill in the details of my Mundra customs office, okay, so I'll select the policy section as Mundra customs. What is the second details it was asking? It was only asking about the office details, the office address. What is the office address? What is the address proof? What is the contact number? What is the email address? These all things were pertaining to my Mundra office. Okay. Now, once you fill in the address and click on add address, right now we are only talking about other policy section, which is section 7 in your original CV profile. So what you were doing is you were filling in the details. First thing is policy section name. Second thing was address, office address, details, complete office address, email address, phone number, everything. Now, once you hit add address, once you have filled in everything, and once you click on add address, you would see a table right at the bottom of the page wherein all your office details were there. Okay, wherein all the office details which you have just entered. Okay, FEI Dunya. Okay, I see your query. I'll just address it. Okay, let the session be over, then I'll address your query. Okay, so once you have filled in those details, and once it appears in the table just below in the bottom page of the other policy section, you will find another one button which appears green, which started coming live, which was, it says add contact person details. Okay, so after filling in the policy section name and filling in the address and clicking on add address, your work is not over. After that, in the table within the table, you will see in the front, just at the beginning of the table, in the first column, you will see a green button which says add contact person details. You click on that button. Okay, you will see another page opens up, it pops up, another application form sort of page, it opens up. Now, what details, which contact person details you need to fill in there was that contact person will be the contact person of your Mundra office. Okay, wherein 7.2, or wherein your Mumbai policy section can contact your Mundra office, you need to give in the details of that particular contact person in this pop-up. Okay, here it was only a provision that you can only fill in one contact person's name. Okay, for every other policy section details office, against every other policy section details office, you can only have one contact person against that, which you fill in. Okay, so if you have, say, 4 offices, if you have total 5 offices, one is Mumbai, which is your parent policy section. Now other 4 are, say, Mundra, Kolkata, Chennai, Delhi. Okay, Mumbai details you've already filled in, I mean, right from the beginning, from CB primary details, from correspondence address, director details, authorized person details, everything you have added Mumbai details. Okay, only in section 7 you fill in the details of the rest of the 4 offices. All right. Now, in the example, what I've explained you have filled in Mundra office detail. Okay. Now, since you have 4 other offices, you were required to fill in the details of all the 4 offices. So the exercise that I've explained you, this needs to be repeated 4 times. Okay, for all the offices. So every time you fill in the entire other policy section office details, okay, click on add address, a new line will come up. Okay, now the second line will have your, say, Chennai office address. Again, you have to click on the add contact person. Now this contact person details will be the contact person in your Chennai office. Okay, so in my example, wherein my Mumbai is parent policy and I have 4 other offices in other policy sections, so in my other policy section page, in the table just below, I have 4 entries of 4 offices. Okay, I'll have the entry of Delhi office, I'll have the entry of Chennai office, I'll have the entry of Mundra office, I'll have the entry of Kolkata office. Okay, and every rows in that table will have office address, email ID, contact number, also the contact person details in all the 4 columns, in all the 4 rows will be needs to be filled or needs to be updated. Okay, once you completely fill that particular form, okay, make sure you would have, I mean, now that process is over for most of you. Okay, I would say 99% of CVs have already done that thing. Okay, most of them are already onboarded. Okay, so but what would have been, have filled all the office details in that particular section and click on, and finally your application was saved and submitted to your policy section. Okay, now right now just please keep this in mind. We have talked about other policy section, section number 7 in your original CV profile. Okay, wherein you have filled in your other policy section office details and one contact person, only one contact person. Okay, now this scenario is over. Now the second thing, which is add OPS. When we talk about OPS details, add OPS details, or create your OPS profile, you must have been getting calls from policy section stating that please complete your OPS profile, please complete your OPS profile. Now, OPS profiles is nothing but what the detail, apart from the details which you have already filled in your other policy section details in CV profile. Okay, what you have filled in there is your office address, policy section name, and one contact person. Now, all such offices will also have employees over there working over there, right? So the details of all the employees, say for instance, in our example, in our original example, wherein we have one Mumbai as a parent policy and 4 OPS other policy section office details. Okay, now say for instance, in my Mundra office I have 10 employees. Okay, now but I have given, initially I have given the detail of only one person, which was a one contact person. Okay, just the contact person. Now wherein my rest of the 9 employee details will go, it will go in my OPS details. Okay, your OPS details will include the all the employees who are working, all the employees or all the pass holders who are working in your other policy section offices. Okay, so once you go in to add OPS details, okay, you will find the right on the top, you will find a drop down menu. So if, say, in an ideal situation, if you would have filled in your 4 offices correctly in the other policy section details previously, here in the drop down menu you will see 4 offices appearing. So if you go in your CV profile, on on the top, uh, right on the top, if you will see add OPS details, okay, you click on add OPS details, you bring, you drop it down, and just give me a moment, just hold on. Just give me a moment. Huh? All right, sorry for that. Now, once you go into the OPS details, okay, you enter the details of all the employees. Now, this would have been the ideal situation. Now, for instance, uh, say, okay, say for instance, in the or now this was the ideal situation which we spoke about. Now, what has happened here is in many of the application, I would not say most of the applications, in many of the applications, Either it was because of some confusion, or because some of the CVs were not aware of how to fill it, or they have not referred to the user manual or some or these things. Okay, what they have done is they have actually updated, or they have updated the other policy section details in the CV profile incorrectly. Okay, and also inadvertently it is also being validated by their parent policy sections. So when I say that they have filled the other policy sections incorrectly, example is what they might have they might have done is they might have say, I mean, if you have 5 offices, there are 2 or 3 scenarios what they could have done. They would have done. The first scenario is, say, for instance, when you go to section 7 of the CB profile, it asks you very clearly whether you have offices, whether you are working in any other policy sections, yes or no. Okay, so you choose yes if you have other offices in other policy section. In our original example, say for I have 5 offices, so I have one parent policy in Mumbai, and then I have 4 other policy sections in other policy section, in other custom houses. I have 4 other offices. Okay, so when in part 7 it asks me, are you working in other policy sections, you should have clicked yes. Okay, yes, and then going below, ideally you would have filled the details of all the 4 offices. Now there have been instances wherein people have not filled in those details correctly. First mistake many of you have done is, instead of selecting yes, you have selected no. uh, the reasons may be endless. Okay, you were not aware of it, you wanted to do it in a hurry, or whatever the reasons may be, but this is incorrect. If you are working in Mumbai, I mean, if Mumbai is your parent policy section, and apart from Mumbai, even if you are working in even in one other policy section, say even if you have an office in Pune or say Nagpur, okay, you should have done a yes over there. Okay, and then filled in your Nagpur office details or Pune office details and one contact person details over there. Subsequently, when once your parent profile was validated, now you would have had filled in the OPS details in for Nagpur or Pune offices. Okay, this is the first scenario wherein you were supposed to do a yes, but you didn't know, and then you moved forward and submitted your apply. Okay, so this is your first scenario. This is incorrect. Now we are only discussing the scenarios which was possible, and because of which you need to use this functionality, manage CV profile functionality. Okay, this is the first thing. The second scenario is, let's take our original example wherein we had 5 offices: Mumbai, Mundra, Kolkata, Chennai, Delhi. Okay. Now, my Mumbai office details I'm already filling in. Now, in section 7, it asks me, "Are you working in any other offices?" And I say yes. The moment I say yes, it asks me to fill in the details of all the offices. Ideally, I was required to fill in the details of 4 other offices. But what I did, instead of filling in the details of 4 offices, I only filled in 3 offices, or I only filled in one office. Say, for instance, I am working in Mumbai, Mumbai parent policy is done. I only filled in Mundra. Okay, but my Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai offices, I did not fill in the details of those offices, or I did not fill in the employee details of, or sorry, the contact person details or the details of those offices. I only filled in the office details of Mundra in other policy section, and then I submitted, and which was also validated. Okay, this is the second scenario. This is also incorrect. Okay, the third scenario is, while filling in the details, while filling in my details of other policy section, I filled in incorrectly. Okay, my parent policy was Mumbai, and my other policy section was somewhere else, but I filled in incorrectly. I selected Mumbai only in my. Ideally, it will not appear in the drop down, but I filled in incorrect details. I mean, I filled in the incorrect office details, or I filled in the incorrect contact person details. Okay, this is the scenario 3. Now, now since the profile is already validated, it is already done. Okay, you now, while filling in your add OPS details, when you go in your section of add OPS details, you click on add OPS, you are unable to fill in those add OPS details correctly. Okay. Now, even we being, I mean, for the project to actually go ahead smoothly, we are required to actually get this OPS details filled in for the entire CVs. Okay, just I mean, just like how we achieved near to 100% onboarding rate for CV profiles, we are striving. We are actually I should not use this, but we are lagging in onboarding the OPS profile details, maybe majorly because of this reason, that you filled in your CB profile incorrectly. You filled in your original CB profile, the section number 7, incorrectly. Okay, I've discussed the 3 scenarios. Now, what happens in these 3 scenarios? Now you come to know that, okay, I have 4 offices. In scenario number 1, wherein you have done a no, you should have done a yes. Whether you are working in other policy section, you should have done a yes, or you did not do that. Instead, what you did is you did a no. Okay, and you move forward and submit it. Now, once you have submitted your original CB profile, and since you have originally submitted, and since your profile is also validated, system just opens up the OPS details section for you, because it is only available for validated profiles. The OPS profile details you can only create once your original CB profiles are validated. So I mean, a system does not know whether it is correctly validated or incorrectly validated. The moment your original CB profile is validated, what system does is system puts it live. System throws the add OPS detail option as a live for you. Now you can fill in those details. But your add OPS details link is directly linked with the details which you have filled in section 7, which is other policy section in your original CV profile. So, say if you have done a no when it asked you, or when it prompted you to fill in whether you are working in other policy sections, instead of yes, you filled a no. Okay. Now, when you go to other policy section, the drop down will not show you any offices. Okay. Okay. Now the section, it will not show you any other offices over there. Okay. Or it will show you less offices. Say for instance, you were supposed to actually fill in the details of 4 other offices. Instead of 4 offices, it will show you only 3 office details. Okay. It will show you 3 offices in the drop down, or 2 offices in the drop down, instead of the actual 4. So in these cases, what you need to do, where this our managed CB profile comes into picture. Now, manage CB profile functionality, what it does, it allows the nodal officer of your parent policy sections. Okay, your parent policy section nodal officer can actually make changes to this validated profile in the OPS section, in the section 7 of your CB profile. He can directly make amendments. Okay, but obviously he needs to validate it first with your physical files which are available in the section, and then he will be able to actually make amendments to this. Okay, and make amendments with the correct details. He will actually do the right amendment for you. But for that particular amendment, you as in CB, if you have actually recognized what mistakes you have done, or which options are not live for you, okay, you as in CB need to actually go ahead and file a requisition to the nodal officers, to your respective nodal officers of your respective parent policy sections. Okay, so the public notice number 28, which we spoke about, okay, this talks about that particular requisition which you need to fill. A CB who wants to make amendments in their other policy section details so that they can fill in their OPS profiles, need to actually make a requisition to their nodal officers of their parent policy section. Now, how does that requisition works is that your requisition needs to be sent to in an email. Now, we have issued this particular public notice for Mumbai policy section. A similar sort of public notices will be issued in other policy sections as well. So, but for Mumbai, we have already mentioned that you need to send an email. You need to send these requisitions in email. Okay, the email ID is already provided in the public notice. It is cbsec@gov.in. Okay. Now, what details needs to be mentioned in this particular email is the first thing is your parent CV profile. Now, for nodal officer to identify your actual CV profile wherein the changes needs to be made, okay, he needs to know your parent CV profile. What is the, I mean, what is the CBLMS number of your profile? So your requisition, the first section, it says details pertaining to parent CV profile. The first thing that you need to mention is your original CBLMS number. The CBLMS number will be your the number CBLMS number of your parent profile. The second one will be your PAN number, the CV PAN number, and the third one will be your customs broker name. Okay, so these are the first, I mean, three details of the first column of acquisition. The second details will be details pertaining to the office in your other policy section. Okay, as we said that now we'll go by example wherein you have done a no instead of doing a yes. Okay, now you have 4 offices pending to be filled in your other policy section. What nodal officers will do is that you'll give them a requisition with your CBLMS number. He'll be able to identify your CV profile, original CV profile. He'll search your CV profile with that CBLMS number and he'll retrieve the details. Now, originally, since you did a no in the other policy section, in the section 7, it's very important. Let me tell you that this functionality will allow nodal officer to make changes only in section 7 of your original CV profile. Section 7, which we are talking about since the beginning, which is other policy section details. He can only make amendments in that section 7, which means he can only either add or amend your other policy section office details, the contact details, office address, email ID, phone numbers, and one contact person. Only one contact person. He will not add the rest of the employee details, which you need to actually add it. Once he adds your office details in your original CV profile and approves it or validates it, after that, again the OPS profile link will be live for you guys, and you need to go in that section and you need to enter the details of the all the employees of that particular office. Okay, so this is the first column, the details pertaining to parent CV profile. Second is details pertaining to the office in the OPS details. Again, you need to give in the details policy section name, complete office address, email ID, contact number. Again, also you need to give him the scanned copy of your address proof. This needs to be uploaded in the CBLMS. Okay, this will be done by nodal officer. So your a list of acceptable documents is already available on the portal. Please go through that. Okay, and also please make sure that the format of the scanned copy which you are uploading, it is only in PDF, and the maximum size of this PDF is 10 MB. Okay, now these are the details pertaining to the office. Now once the office details are entered, he'll click on add office, and once this particular office appears in the table below, again there will be a button, green button, which will come live, which will say contact person details. So you need to add the details of the contact person. Okay, now for contact person, what all details you need to give? You need to give the name of the contact person, father's name, his or her father's name, his or her date of birth, scanned copy of the photograph of the contact person. Now this scanned copy of the photograph needs to be only in JPG, JPEG format, and maximum size can only be 100 KB. All right. After that, the PAN number of the contact person, scan copy of the PAN number, mobile number, email ID, and complete personal address of the contact person. After this, again, for the contact person, whatever personal address that you're giving there over there, you need to also give in the scanned copy of the address proof of that particular contact person. Okay, so your requisition will be actually divided in 3 columns. First one will be your details pertaining to parent CV profile, wherein CBLMS number, PAN number, and custom broker name will be given. Second column will be pertaining to your office, and the third column will be pertaining to the contact person in that particular OPS office. Okay, once you have filled in this requisition, please email it to the nodal officer of your respective parent policy section. Okay, and on receipt of these requisitions, nodal officer will directly make changes in your approved or validated CV profiles, okay, from the backend. And once the uploading is done in the manage CV profile functionality, this will make amendments in your section 7 of the CB profile of the other policy section details. Once that is done, once you are able to see those changes happening in the section 7, please again visit add OPS details and make sure all the employee details of your other policy section offices are entered. Okay. And then subsequently those OPS profiles are also validated by the respective policy sections. So for in our example, wherein one is Mumbai, your parent policy section is Mumbai. Okay, this is already validated. All right. Now we are talking about the validated profile. So Mumbai is already validated. Now you have Mundra, you have Delhi, Kolkata, and Chennai. All right. Rest of the 4 policy sections, they will validate your respective OBS profiles. All right. So this once this validation is done, manage CV profile functionality is over. Okay. The what it means? Just give me one minute. Okay, it is also in para 6, the public notice also clearly states that it is imperative to mention that under manage CV profile functionality, nodal officer can add the OPS office details of own and only one contact person of the corresponding offices. After addition or amendment is done by the nodal officer, the details of all of the employees working in those respective OPS office needs to be updated by customs broker under the add OPS detail application on CBLMS, which will be subsequently validated by respective policy sections. Okay. So this is how manage CV profile functionality works. This is how you need to create a requisition. You have to send an email to the nodal officer of your respective parent policy section, and then the necessary changes will be done. This is how you do it. Don't please visit the offices of other policy sections. When you have, please visit your CBLMS profile and try to see and try to identify whether you have made such errors in the section 7. If you will find such errors happening over there, please make a requisitions to the nodal officers and ask them to change it. Either add the OPS office details, add the contact person, change the numbers of actual OPS details that you have done. Could you please repeat the requirements for the contact person documents required to be allowed? Sure. Joshi ji, I will highly recommend you to actually go through public notice number 28 of 2023. I'll just read it out. It's for the contact person. It's name, father's name, date of birth, scan copy of the photograph, JPG file, maximum size 100 KB, PAN number of the contact person, scan copy of the PAN number, PAN card, sorry, mobile number, email ID, complete personal address, and scan copy of the address proof of the personal address of the contact person. Okay. All right. So this here we are done with the manage CV profile. You functionality. I hope I have made it amply clear how this functionality works and how you need to make the requisitions to the nodal officer to initiate these changes. CB's customs brokers, you guys have to make amendments, or you guys have to make requisitions to the nodal officer. If the nodal officer will not act on itself to use the managed CV profile and will make random changes in the in your profiles, you will actually have to make requisitions. You have to make applications in the form of an email, wherein you need to mention all the details which I've just mentioned. Or and this is how it is done. All right. Uh, just give me one quick moment. All right.